in moving pictures.
Really?
Yeah. When I was in elementary school, my class projects would be movies. I would make movies. My parents had, this was before video, you know, I'm dating myself a little bit here. My parents had a little Super 8 film camera, and I was just fascinated by it. So I would do these movies with the kids in the neighborhood. I always made my little brother play the girl.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But that was really how I started with having an interest in photography, was with film, moving pictures. I don't remember what my first camera was. I really don't remember, but I've been taking photographs my entire life. And I spent almost 20 years actually as a tree surgeon, as an arborist. That was how I made my living, and my photography was a hobby of mine. And then I had an injury several years back and decided to no longer work with trees, so I switched. Now photography is my vocation, and the plant world is my application.
Right, and it's your passion. I mean, I really do see the passion that comes through your photos. It's amazing.
Thank you.
Do you take photos of trees?
Yes, I do, as a matter of fact, yeah.
Because that's another interest.
Yeah. I love to incorporate a large, old, gnarly tree in with a portrait. I've got a great image of my wife and my mother and her mother sitting at the base of this enormous sugar maple tree up in Massachusetts. And it's one of my favorite images because the texture of the tree and the way that the women these are all the women in my life. You know, my mom, her mom, and my wife.
You'll have to show me that.
Yeah, it's a really nice photograph. So yeah, I do try to incorporate trees. And funny thing is that after spending 18, 19 years as a tree climber, I do have a little bit of a different perspective on life. I've come to get used to seeing things in a different way. Yeah. And I think that's part of my influence in how I shoot now.
Yeah, you've got this sensitivity that it really is touching. I mean, when you look at one of your photos, you go away feeling, moved, I would say.
Well, I have to say that's a huge compliment. That is definitely what I'm trying to accomplish. Mm-hmm. So to hear someone with your training and your experience say that, I really appreciate that.
I'm a fan, and I'm being honest. Us Aussies, we're very frank people, and I always tell it the way it is. And my last question for you is: are there any interesting projects that you're currently working on?
Yes, there are two projects that I'm working on that I'm very excited about. The first one is happening right now, this time of year, with high school students. I'm really going after the high school students who are unhappy with their yearbook photo and want to have something special to remember their high school experience with. So we're doing these incredible location photo shoots and creating a portfolio for these boys and girls. Either boys or girls can do it. They're just great. I love it. We're putting a whole different perspective into high school photography. So if we have any high school students listening and you hate your yearbook photo, forget about it.
I hated mine.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? The kids are totally digging this whole thing. Where we go out, they can do 5 different outfit changes. We shoot in different locations. Every outfit has a different feel, and I put together some nice surprises for them when we see the proofs, and it's a lot of fun. The same thing with the high school students. In addition to the yearbook, we're also doing these really cool prom photos, where the couple will actually come in a couple of days before the prom, in their dress and in their nice clothes. And again, we're going on location and we're doing these edgy, contemporary, really interesting photos of the kids at the prom. Forget the picture at the prom in front of the 2 columns.
Yeah, where people look like statues.
Oh, forget about it. Yeah, we're doing stuff that are making the kids absolutely go nuts. So I'm very excited about that project. Any high school kids or any parents who want to do a great gift, that's something that is very exciting. The other project that I'm working on right now, I've teamed up with a marketing expert. The name of his business is G Street Web, gstreetweb.com. And his name is Tom Ritter. He's a very talented individual. He understands marketing, and he can put together a good website, and he integrates it. So he and I are working together with executives, and anything from a executive of a major corporation, which we did a photo shoot in New York City last week for, to regular sole proprietorships who are looking to stand out, create a good image for yourself, and put together a comprehensive marketing solution. We're working together, Tom and I are working together on creating press kits, websites, all sorts of visual brochures and media based around really interesting portraits of the principals of the corporations.
That's a fascinating concept. Really.
Yeah, it's fun.
And it's something that I don't think has been done very much. It's very rare that you see good photos taken in the corporate world.
Yes, that's kind of what got me interested in doing this. I was at the bank, and I saw on the wall the photographs of the principals of the bank, and I'm saying to myself, these are awful.
Yeah.
If you're a person who has some interest in your life, why not do a really interesting portrait and have that as your executive portrait? What that does is it makes what you do more available to the general public, because now they're seeing a person who's interested, a person who's put some thought into their presentation.
Yeah.
So this project that I'm working on with G Street Web is very exciting, and we've done some really interesting shoots with, like I said, executive types, but also I did a great shoot with a dog trainer, several different interesting people.
It's fascinating, and when I think about it, if you go into a company and you see that they've taken an effort, they put an effort into photos of the company, the people who work there, they might make the same effort when they're dealing with your business.
Well, that's exactly the point that we're trying to communicate. Particularly on the internet, when you go to a website, there's still a little bit of anxiety, a little bit of apprehension about doing business through the internet, and it can be a very impersonal way of doing business. So what Tom and I are working on is creating these websites that show the principal owners and show them in an accessible manner. A way that's inviting, makes you see, oh, this is the person I'm dealing with.
It's not just...
They're not selling me gadgets. They're a person who's interested in me. Mm-hmm. And we're communicating that to people through the websites and through other types of literature. Mm-hmm. Now we're not just talking about selling gadgets. We're talking about selling yourself, selling your business based on who you are.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
And you really are a fascinating person yourself. You're extremely creative. You're a wonderful photographer. I mean, I'm a huge fan. If ever I need a photographer, I'll be calling you. But not only that, you have a wonderful radio voice, and you are host of this show. You're host of this new show, and I'd like you to say whatever you want to say to the listeners out there. And
all right, this is what I have to say. Listen to me. Get shot. Tune in to Shots with Devin on Saturday afternoons at 3:30. We'll have a good time.